Hello and happy Sunday, Soulmate. Sorry, I'm checking to make sure my mic is active and I have the right one connected, and I do. It looks good. I'm late. It is 7:20 and my goal is to start this at 7 p.m. through the entire year. You guys know I'm showing up every other Sunday. The initial plan was first and third Sunday, but sometimes it gets us off track. So really, it's just every other Sunday. I am showing up on here to meet with my runners and anyone else who might have an interest in any of the stuff that we're kind of talking about as we move on. So, happy Sunday. I am so excited to be here this weekend marks our official 5K weekend for my soulmates, for my runners who are currently running with me. And our goal this weekend was for everybody to complete a 5K, 3.1 miles, whether it's walking, running, or a mixture of both. And you guys are earning t-shirts for that. We've been hopefully, training for that and getting into the groove of the summer. So that link's going to be coming out to you guys this week so that you can order your t-shirt. So every soulmate will get the email and the link. What I have on the agenda for the upcoming months before I get into my, kind of my philosophical conversation about the Grand Canyon and something that I've listened to along my journey of completing my 5K this past week. Um, I am working on a 10K program that's going to lead any of my soulmates who are interested up to the fall 10K mark. I know I have a lot of runners who do the Wicked 10K. I do have a 5K plan already to rock and roll, but it's not time to start that yet. But the 10Kers will need to kind of start getting into the groove. If you haven't started yet, we're going to be, beginning that it's the end of June. So we're going to want to make sure that we start getting into the groove of the consistency and the workouts and getting the miles in order to be prepared for a 10K in the October fall timeframe. So that's what I'm working on. And for my current runners, you guys who are with me have the app, you know what I'm talking about. That means that there will be a new course available in the app for 10K planning that I will kind of drop and release to you guys for anyone who's interested. And that will include just the same thing that we have right now in our current plans, which is like your coaching video for the week, your messaging for the week, your tracking chart, and then your run tracker, and then your plans. And that will be accessible to you so that you can move at your own pace, kind of clicking through the weeks as you go based on where you are. So that is my goal. That is my summer. The thing that I want to complete for this summer is to have that ready to go and accessible, because like I said, this is one of the most popular events timeframes for my runners, which is a 10K distance, 5K to 10K distance in the fall. So I want to make sure that I have that ready to go. So that's updates for us. A t-shirt, email, that plan coming up in the future. And just making sure we're really working on that consistency, whatever that looks like for you. So, as I was completing my 5K this week, which I did it on a treadmill, I signed my kids up for soccer camp this week. And a quick funny story, and I'll share it because it might be relatable to you. And it might, if it's not relatable, it's just going to make you feel better about your life. Like, well, at least I don't do things like that. I was looking for soccer camps for my kids for this summer. And this was several months ago because you have to sign up for them early. And when I was looking, I found a camp in a nearby city to us. Of course, we moved here. It's been almost 2 years since we've lived in this new area. And as I was looking at camps, I was also doing the whole like, okay, let me go ahead and, Google map it from my house and see how long it takes to get there. And most of the stuff that I do as far as just like family stuff, house stuff, life stuff for us is like 10 o'clock p.m. So once everything is settled down, everybody's in bed, I am in bed. And that's typically when I pull up like the list of things that I want to do, whether it's ordering groceries or pulling the trigger on these camps. And I have my phone open, and I always feel like I have like this kind of look as I'm kind of doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So anyway, I am Google mapping the distance between where we live now and this camp in a nearby city. And when I open, I look at it, I'm like, oh, perfect. It says 25 mi, 25 minutes away. Okay, totally doable, totally fine. But I didn't find out literally until it was time for camp to start this past week that it was actually a 45-minute drive, and that was 25 miles into the city. So again, either you can relate to that. I've had friends of mine who said like, "Oh, that is so something I would do, Tina. Thanks for making me feel better." Or if you can't relate to that, then you can think like, "Hey, at least I'm not struggling like she is." So, with that being said, I didn't have time. It was a 3-hour camp. It made no sense for me to take them, drop them off, and come home and do anything productive. So I was kind of, I don't want to say stuck in the city, but I was in the city for about 3 hours each day of the week. And I had to find something to do to occupy myself while they were at camp. But it was kind of good. It kind of pulled me away from the obligations of all of the things around the house, right? Like that's why vacations are so good when you can leave and not have to be, struggling with laundry and just the cleaning and things like that. So it was great in that aspect to where I'm away from home. I'm not able to just, get lost in chores for these 3 hours. I really could make this time about me. And so they have a gym there that I'm a member of. One of the locations is in this city, and there's a Starbucks. And so that's what I did every day. I went to the gym and I had just a long, leisurely, like on my own time workout. And then I stopped at Starbucks and then I was on my way. So during the 45-minute drive, just a little, another tidbit of information, I would have like those Bloom energy drinks. I'm not a huge energy drink fan. But every once in a while, like the Bloom drinks don't seem to, be too crazy. It just gave me a little pick me up as I was, on the way. I like to have these little rituals that just make me feel like they're little treats and, throughout the day. So the kids and I were listening to an audiobook on the way, which was super helpful for the all of the arguing and fighting that happened early in the morning as we had this 45-minute car ride. So we were listening to Percy Jackson in the car. I cracked open my Bloom little energy drink. I was in my workout clothes and I headed into the city. So 45 minutes and then we get there, drop them off, and I was, back in the car, and the gym was only about 10 minutes from where their camp was. And so every day it was so great because I could just like do my thing and not have to stress about it. Of course, I'm not going to take 3 hours at the gym, but I sure did take my time. And so I did a lot of workouts on the treadmill, and it was great. It was really, really great. Always a wake up call. I've been doing a lot of walking. I've told you guys I've had periodic stretches of jogging and running, throughout, but nothing consistent. And I decided that, each day I would hop on the treadmill, whether it's go for a walk or do a run. So anyway, I was going to get my 5K done during this time because it was best. We had family coming in over the weekend, so it was just best for me to be able to get it done during the week. And I did, and it was so funny. The first day that I ran, and I did like sort of an interval of like I would do like a few minute, not even a few minutes. Like I got to the point where I was doing like a minute of jogging, a minute of walking, a minute of jogging, just trying to get through. And I was like, there's no way that this treadmill is not on like a steady incline because I feel like I'm running uphill. But truth be told, even if it was a minuscule incline, it was nothing. I mean, I will post a picture in our group. My face was beat red. I was like, I'm running uphill. There's no other way to describe why I'm so freaking tired. I am running uphill. It has to be what it is. I didn't put the incline up, but I'm running uphill and I'm about to die. And so that's how I felt the first time. And I was like, gosh, I am really getting myself back into this place of what it really feels like to be a true beginner, which is my passion, which is what I love so much. I love people starting over. I love those who are starting from scratch. Like that is my passion project. That's why I'm here. That's why this all started. And so I love that I'm truly getting to experience that. Like literally bright cheeks, like am I going to be able to make this? This is so hard. Like feeling all the feels. And so I had a couple of those moments, those workouts during this past week, and I love it. I'm like, is this what I'm meant to learn through all this whole process? Like there's a reason I am where I am. So needless to say, as I was trying to complete this 5K, I had my phone in front of me, which I don't love, but there's not many things that you can do. And I was really digging deep for like, I needed something to help me get through this. And I started looking at what I used to look up when I ran on the treadmill, like back in the day, which is like running motivation video clips. And I have a few of my favorites that I've shared with you guys before, but this one in particular, I had never listened to, and I honestly can't find it. I was looking for it before I got on the live because I wanted to tell you exactly what it was in case you wanted to listen to where the motivation or the inspiration for this conversation was coming from, but I could not find it. I searched everywhere. But one of the things that came up was it was something about again, I typed in like running motivation, but I don't think it had anything to do with running. It was talking more about hiking, and it talked about the Bright Angel Trail in the Grand Canyon. So I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that. I'm very familiar with that because I remember going to the Grand Canyon. Mike and I went on vacation. We went there one summer years ago. And, it was a very quick way for us to learn that we were both terrified of heights. And it was a disaster, us being at the Grand Canyon. It was absolutely stunningly beautiful. We were such chickens. Like, we would not even get close enough to the edge. Like, we were so far back that there were children running in front of us, like between us and the edge of the Grand Canyon. But we were like, And there is this trail called the Bright Angel Trail that you can actually hike down into the Grand Canyon. And so when I saw this video, I definitely clicked on it because I was like, I want to see, what it's talking about, because our experience with the Bright Angel Trail is like we started going down, like it's a very easy, like when you start going down into the Bright Angel Trail, like you can look it up. You can probably watch like hikes through there. It's super chill when you first go down in there. And then there's like this sharp turn to the right, and at which you kind of have to like get right up against the wall, the canyon, right up against the canyon, because there's like a ledge. And it's just blew my mind, this idea of like, well, one tiny step in this direction, and then like that's it, you're done for, right? Like you are into the canyon. And people do like die there often. Okay, so all these things are going through my head. So Mike was an absolute no, I'm not going. And I even think I was pregnant at the time, and I was like, I'm gonna go. I was in like my running, like, I mean, I spent a lot of time in like, my running era of just, I love to run. And I thought to myself, maybe there's even parts of this Bright Angel Trail that I can run. Like I was all into it. Like, I'm going to find somewhere in the Grand Canyon where I can run. Um, I got down that first like slope to the part where you go around the wall, and I went like to lean against the wall to turn around. And I was like, nope. I went running back up so fast. I'm like, no, I'm not going. There's no way I'm going down there. It was terrifying to me. I did not get very far. We laughed. We went and got ice cream and sat like 20 feet back from the edge and just said, like, that is good. Like, we are good to go. So I wanted to listen to this whole concept of the Bright Angel Trail. And as I was doing my run, to kind of help time pass. And I'm going to tell you what the concept in the conversation or in the video, what was the message that was kind of relayed to the listener. And then I'm going to tell you the way that I was interpreting it as I was listening to it. And I was like, wait a minute, this makes much more sense to me this way. So in the video, he's talking about the Bright Angel Trail, right? And he talks about going for a hike. And he started off by talking about how like he just felt like he was in this place. I don't even know who this was, and I feel kind of bad about it, but honestly, I don't know. It could have been AI for all that I know. But it was talking about like needing to get away, needing to get some space, needing to feel small and just break away from life's expectations. And so he decided he wanted to go for a hike. And, for him, the best place he could go was the Bright Angel Trail, the Grand Canyon. And so then he started talking about, which I can totally relate to this, how when you hike up a mountain, it seems like the view, right? The journey to the moment at the top is the goal of the experience. Like, I am hiking this mountain because I want to get to the top, because this is the ultimate goal of the experience. I want the views. I want to take it all in. I want that, like, to feel good about what I've done. But the Bright Angel Trail is different, right? The Bright Angel Trail starts with a descension. You literally are descending into the Grand Canyon. And so this was his concept, was that when you descend into the Grand Canyon, what do we know about descending? What we know that descending means easier, right? We're going downhill. The momentum of gravity is pulling us forward, and it's very easy to just take that momentum and keep going. And he mentioned how when you get to a certain point on the Bright Angel Trail, I obviously never made it to this point, but when you get to a certain point of the Bright Angel Trail, you'll start to see signs, and it says something like going farther or going down is optional, but going back up is mandatory. Like, you got to go back up. And so it was just that the whole reminder is basically for safety. Again, this is what blew my mind about the Grand Canyon. It's like you're kind of on your own. Like, no one's coming here to save you. Like, if you make the dumb decision to keep hiking down this canyon, like, and you can't come back up, like, that's like on you. They can do their best to kind of help you, but that's just the way that it goes. Like, that's you and nature. And so there, you're seeing all these signs, and you have to really remind yourself as you're like gently descending at this easy, enjoyable descension into the Grand Canyon. It's beautiful views everywhere. You get caught up in the excitement, and you think to yourself, like, oh, I can do this. I can make it back up. When I'm ready, I'll be ready for the climb. And you just keep going, and not thinking about how far you're descending. And his whole point, as in his point of the video, was to talk about how that's what it's like to take chances in life, right? That, like, to be willing to take those chances and put yourself out there, and to do the easy part of deciding, like, for the sake of, our theme, why we're here, of becoming a runner, right? Having that, going down the descension, the decision to become a runner, that's easy. Like, I want to do this. I'm going to train for this. Like, I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to show up. Like, that's easy. It's very easy to get caught up in the whole, like, I'm doing this. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to run a half marathon, all those things. But then he describes it as when you come back up, that's the work, right? That is the transformation. That is the work. When you turn around to come back up and you're grinding and it hurts and it's hard, like that is the transformation that takes place. And I love that. It's still an incredible concept. And I love that idea. That's like, and he's saying, like, yeah, everybody can go down, but not everybody can go back up. So not everybody can grind and do that work and like push through the difficult times and make it happen and let it be inconvenient. Not everybody can do that. And that's where the transformation takes place. All that is very, very true. But as he was talking, I was feeling a connection with, and this very much could be because of where I am in my life. I'm struggling hard with just like, I tell you guys this every week, but it's real. And I'm just going to share with you, like literally struggling with my nutrition, with my body, with, getting out of my funk of injury and like just really trying to find myself. And that's where I am. So as I'm hearing this, and I get what he's saying, like making that decision is easier and I love it. Great perspective. And he talks about how like, it's the enjoyable journey on the way down. And it's great to make those, explanations of like, this is it, I'm going to do this. But I kept thinking of it as, wow, this to me reminds me of coasting through life, like making the easy choices. To me, it reminds me of what I have been doing so much lately. And I'm talking about for months, if not years, of what I've been doing as far as the choices that I've been making for myself. So the descension into the Bright Angel Trail, the easy part, the views, and the like, I could do this forever and this is great. And knowing that you have to go back up, knowing that you have to turn around and hike back up, but thinking to yourself, like, I'll do it. It's no big deal. I can make it happen when I'm ready. And so I was relating it to like, this is what I've been doing for the past couple of years is I've been descending. I've been descending and allowing things to be easy, allowing myself to coast down in every regard, as far as my nutrition, as far as my exercise and my health, even my mental health, taking care of myself. I've allowed myself to descend and just let it go. And I do think there is a place for that. And I like to frame it as like, there's a time and a place when you have made the decision to step back, to take it easy, but I have not been doing it in that way. Mine has been more of an overall, like I have these moments of, doing things and getting back on track. But ultimately, I have often just considered like, oh, I'll do it. I'll figure it out. It'll be fine when I'm ready. And as I'm saying these things, like I'm continuing to descend down into this trail and it's easy. The momentum is carrying me. Like, it's great. Like, eat whatever you want, take your breaks. Like, you need rest, all those things. Like, it feels so good, right? Like, and again, this is not to shame or guilt anybody because we all need those moments, but it's, what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Letting yourself go, essentially letting it go and just saying like, I'll figure it out later. And and again, it's so easy and it feels good. And it's like, okay, I'll do it when, I'll do it then, I'll start this time and I will buckle down, right? I will, what is it that people say? I'll lock in or whatever. And I'll do that when it's time to ascend, right? But in the meantime, every day that you continue to allow yourself to descend, that's deeper into the canyon that you go. And yes, it feels great, but that is the farther you have to climb up on the flip side of that. So to climb out of this place is going to take so much more energy. Now, this is not a judgment. This is not a warning. This is not a shameful tactic. The point is when you can remember this perspective and make the decision, right? You can just keep it in perspective and know that that is all very true. The longer I let myself descend down, the longer I let myself just let it go, do what I want, not care, just not, kind of stay disciplined in any way, like the harder it's going to be on the turnaround when I come back up. And will I have what it takes? Of course, as I'm descending, just like people in the Bright Angel Trail, like as I'm descending, yeah, I can do that. I can make it happen when I'm ready. Like, it's going to be fine. I'm going to lock it in. I'm going to it's going to be great. But then as you start to ascend, you realize like, this is really hard. And then the lower you kind of went, it gets a little bit more intimidating. You start to feel a little discouraged, right? Just as if you were physically on that Bright Angel Trail, you get discouraged and think like, I have so far to go. This is so much harder than I thought. I don't know if I'm going to make it. This feels really difficult. And all those things are very true, right? So here's the thing. Like, yes, all of that is true. And I hope that you guys can understand kind of where I'm going with this. Like, yeah, it's going to feel hard. The thing is, the transformation that takes place from where we come from our descension, from wherever it is that we ended up in our descension and we start that climb back up, like there is an amazing transformation that takes place inside of us as we begin that climb back up. And the video did kind of lead to this in a different way, but that ascension out of that place of depth, that ascension out of that bright angel trail, that the Grand Canyon, that ascension out of it, yes, it is very difficult. Yes, it's going to take grit. Yes, it's going to take courage. Yes, it's going to take you talking yourself back into it and trying again and not giving up and knowing that it's hard and knowing that you're going slow and it's imperfect, but you have to keep ascending one footstep at a time. And the crazy thing is, like, when the deeper you go and the farther you have to climb and ascend out of that trail, the bigger the transformation that happens. And so had you stayed at the top of that trail, had you never descended, right? And this is what I'm trying to remind myself when I'm like, what is happening to me? Where have I been? How have I been falling so far and so hard over the past couple of years that I am in this place? Like, this was not me. I had it all together as far as running goes, not in life. Lord, no, not in life. But like, as far as running went, like I had it all like locked down. Like I had it. It was easy. It was enjoyable. Like it was routine. It was just, I loved it. And like where I am right now, where I'm like, get yourself out the door, or this hurts, or knee pain, or inconsistency. Like, how did I get to this point? But I can't help but think that this is part of my journey, as far as like, I need this transformation. And have I hit the bottom of my descension? I don't know. Probably not. It doesn't quite feel like it yet. But when I start my ascension and I have little bursts, right? I have these moments of like ascending out of it a little bit. And then it's like, oh, this is hard and it's discouraging. And sometimes I just want to sit down, or I tend to descend even more, right? But I know that on the other side of that, like something is to be learned, something is to be gained, a transformation is to take place. And it never would have happened by just sitting at the top of the trail, right? Like, yeah, for those of us who have never descended, never struggled, never fell, never experienced any type of adversity, like, yeah, we're not going to have that experience of transformation. But whenever you do descend, whenever you do have that experience of like, this is hard, I'm struggling, like, and it doesn't just have to be in running. I'm relating it to running because that's why we're here. But like in life, those things that cause you to struggle, that ascension out of it will change you. And you can't have that transformation. You cannot have that change without that initial descension. So it's going to feel hard, and it should feel hard, and it's going to feel hard because you are transforming yourself. And so the question is like would I choose to descend? Like if somebody said like, "Oh, do you want to struggle and do you want to fall down this hill face first, and do you want to have to rebuild yourself and figure this all out?" Like, no, like that doesn't sound good. I'd rather like stay at the top and enjoy the view. But like if someone told me, "But there's a transformation waiting for you on the other side of that's going to change. You cannot come back from that unchanged. You can't come back from that unchanged." Like, would it be worth it? I think so. And you know what? The bottom line is, it's not really up to us. Our journey is our journey, and we are experiencing the things that we are meant to experience, and it's leading us the place that we need to go, and it's changing us in a way that we need to be changed, and it's forging us into the people that we need to be created into based on these experiences. So all of that to just for this conversation should just be relatable and understand, like, yeah, as we continue to choose to descend, right? And things feel easy and we just kind of let ourselves coast, just knowing there is an ascension on the other side, and it's going to take work and it's going to be hard. And the longer we let ourselves to descend, the harder that ascension is going to be, but it's not impossible. And the harder the ascension is, the bigger the transformation that is waiting for you. So let yourself rest. Let yourself stop on the trail. Let yourself really admit and acknowledge that this is hard, that this is a struggle, that this is something you have to push through and grind through, and you have to dig deep, and maybe you have to stop over analyzing yourself and what you're doing, and stop analyzing every little thing that you do, and just put one foot in front of the other. So when you find yourself struggling, or you find yourself wondering, like, can I keep going? Can I just want to quit? This is all too hard in regards to whatever it is that you feel like you're descending on or just letting go. Like, just take the next step. Like, imagine that you are climbing out of the Grand Canyon. You don't have a choice but to ascend. You have to come back out, right? You have to come back out. What would you tell yourself in those moments that you just want to quit? You just want to be done. Like, yeah, this is going to be hard. Maybe you can take a break. Yeah, this is going to be hard. Maybe just do a little shuffling. Maybe you get somebody to come with you and help, pull you along. Like, what would you tell yourself? You wouldn't tell yourself, like, just stop, like, just keep climbing down. Like, you have to come back up. You have to come back up, because that's how you survive. That's how you survive. That's how you thrive. That's how you change. That's how you grow into the person that you're meant to be. So what would you tell yourself? You would tell yourself, take those small steps, shuffle if you have to, crawl on your knees if you have to, get some support, get some help, take a break, get some water, but just keep climbing, just keep going. And so if you find yourself in any place, as far as in any part of this path right now, I feel like I 100% have been descending for a while. You guys know that. You know that because if you're here and you're listening to me, you've been with me for a while and you have seen how even the program has shifted and my dissension is affecting the program. And sometimes I'm shocked that y'all are even here still with me and in this growth phase and in this period. But it's been a couple of years of just feeling like I have not been on top of my game or figured any of this out in quite literally probably 2 years. And sometimes I feel like I'm descending faster. And sometimes I feel like I'm starting the climb out and like, this is going to be it. This is going to be it. But then like, it's not. And so I'm stopping to take a rest and those kinds of things. But I 100% am in a dissension mode, but very much looking around for how to start that climb back up. I'm seeing the signs. I'm seeing the signs that say climbing up is not optional. So remember that your ascension is not optional. The descension is optional. You can keep going down, but just as the signs in the Grand Canyon say that ascending out of this canyon is not optional, neither is ascending out of your descension. Whatever you feel like is pulling you down, climbing out is not optional. And remember, the farther you went, the harder you work, the longer you have to go. Just buckle in, take those steps and know that that transformation is on the other side. The transformation is part of the journey. It is what is going to change you. And there is no way that you can experience that and come out on the other side a different person, a better person, a 100% a better person with more self-awareness, more insight on yourself. There's no way that you can't do that. And then that you can't share that with others. And that's what I hope to do. That's why I feel like there's going to be a moment when I climb out of this dang canyon and I'm like, oh, this is what I needed to learn because I still can't figure it out. I know there is something there. And as I'm talking to the camera right now, I'm looking like over my computer screen and I have this sign that I bought and it says, run with patience, the race that is set before you. And I know it's a quote from the Bible. And I just keep trying to remember that, like run with patience, the race that is set. Oh, I thought they would sit quiet the whole time. The race that is set before you. I snuck my dogs in here and I was like, oh, they're being so good. Thank you, Josh. So like with patience, with grace, with kindness, just know the ascension is not an option. The descension is. Okay. I love you guys so much. And I do see that I've got a couple more viewers. My chat is not working. It's okay. I'm going to read it as soon as I get off of here. But I love you guys. Quick reminder. I mentioned in the beginning for those of you who weren't here and you can go back and listen to it. But I mentioned that emails are coming out with your t-shirts. It's t-shirt weekend. It's 5K weekend. Get those 5K pictures posted, walking, running, or a mixture of both. I don't care. I don't care how you did. You can crawl it if you want to. But get those posted because the links are coming out for your t-shirt orders. And I am currently working on a 10K plan. This is my summer project to get done for you guys. A 10K course for y'all to prepare for those fall 5Ks and 10Ks, which I know that's probably the most popular distance for the fall, the 5K and the 10K. I have the 5K ready to rock and roll. Some of you have already dabbled in that, but I will also have a 10K ready for you guys. So right now I have that. I have the beginners, like the prep me. I have the 5K comeback plan, which would be for those who have already been kind of running, but want to get in their 5K mode. There's no need to start 5K training for a fall 5K right now. If there's something that you're doing that feels kind of good, keep doing it. You don't have to buckle down yet, but our 10K plans are going to kick into gear, especially if you haven't been running, but you want to do a 10K. Then we have to start kind of looking at that in the next couple of, I would say July, August-ish. We're going to have to start getting you kind of, again, if you're starting at ground zero, getting you into the groove of those miles. So I'm working on creating that plan because I don't have it. I have the plans made, but I don't have the course created so that you guys will have the videos and all the goods that go with it. So that is my summer project. I love you guys so much. I will be back not next week, the weekend after that, and hopefully on time at 7:00. I was late today, completely forgot. We have family in town. My in-laws are here. My mother-in-law was like, Tina, what time do you have to go on your thing? And I was like, oh my gosh. I was outside in the rain taking the garbage out. So I ran in here but I knew what I wanted to talk to you guys about. The minute I heard that YouTube, and you can look for it if you want to try to search for it. The minute I heard that YouTube video on the Bright Angel Trail and that whole concept, I knew this week that I wanted to share it with you. In fact, when I was with Mike, there was one night this week we were going to pick up dinner or something. It was just the two of us. And I was like, I have to tell you about this video. And we had the whole philosophical conversation about that, the Bright Angel Trail. And he also liked that concept of, thinking of it as like, yeah, because he's kind of in a place like me too. Won't share his business, but he's kind of in that place of dissension too, like needing to find that ascension and knowing that it's going to be quite a journey, especially when you don't have that momentum of the starting the climb out of that trail. But knowing that, yeah, like I kind of got myself here because this is easy and I'm descending and it feels good and it's easy to keep going and it's beautiful here. Like I'm not stressing or worrying about anything. I'm just gonna let it go but when it's time to pivot and come back, there is that resistance, but it's so good. It's so, so good. It's magical to get to the other side of that. So I love you guys. Have an amazing week. I will see you. Let me check the date. Not 4th of July weekend, but the 12th, the 12th, July 12th. So keep on moving, keep on running, keep on posting. I love you guys, and I will see you soon. Bye, everybody.